Hi, my name is Antoinette Cooks. I'm coming live from South Shore Elementary School. Today we will be talking to Alvin L. Horn. He's an author from Seattle, Washington, and he has several books out. You could check him out on Amazon. So today we're going to interview him and ask him how he got started and his life story today. So, how you doing, Alvin?
I'm fine, Antoinette. How you doing today?
I'm great.
Good. Thank you for this opportunity.
Great, no problem.
hmm
So, how long you been an author in the Northwest?
Well, I was born and raised here in the Seattle Northwest area, and as a young child, I had an imagination, and I used to write short stories and poetry. Actually, I used to recite it, because when you're a child, some people are a little shy to write. And I had issues writing physically, but in my head, I could do it. So my family noticed early on that I had an imagination. So they put me in things like theater, and I was a musician, and I wrote songs and stuff. So one thing led to another as I became older. I just wanted to put those stories and poetry and things into writing, and it's a dream come true that everyone hears the word that everyone has a book in them. And I've been blessed to be able to write fiction and nonfiction, and then eventually that morphed into writing for essays for magazines and newspapers. And I've been blessed to win awards for what I do and continue to put my stories and thoughts and trains, things that can help people.
So, what are your books about? Love stories, passion, or fiction, or what do we expect out of these books?
That's the question that everyone wants to know. What are your books about? And I've been blessed to be able to write books that encompass pretty much everything, a wide genre of everything goes in. There is a lot of passion. There is a lot about romance and relationships, people meeting people breaking up, what happens later in life if they've been married a long time and they divorce and they're single again. There is, yes, some eroticism in my books. I'm widely known for that. But I also go to the full spectrum of these people have a spiritual base to their life too, as I want to give a full spectrum of everyone's life. So at some point in time, you might see someone thinking and having a thought, a meditation period with their God. They might have a train of thought with someone personally. And then there's the love and romance that goes on in everyday's life. And also, I want to be clear that some of these people are living regular life like all of us. They're going to work, they have families, some of them have children, some of them have their children are grown, sometimes they have parents, and what goes on with that type of situation. So I cover a wide ground of what's going on in everyday life. That makes people feel like they are a part of my books because they can see themselves in their books.
So, these books are basically about your life, or you look at somebody else's life and imagine it?
That's every author gets that question. Are these books are about you? I kind of laugh because of all the things I write in so many thousands of words and so many books, it would be impossible to make them about my life. Now, an author can use the background of where they've been. I travel a lot, so sometimes I will put a city or something going on in a particular place or building, but it's not necessarily about me. And paying attention and listening to personalities and how people have a conversation. It's often, I've been someplace maybe having coffee and there's someone across from me, you hear a conversation of how people interact. That might end up in my book. Not necessarily what they were talking about, but just how their interaction is. So about my personal life, no, when it comes to writing fiction, I got an imagination and I can paint anything I so choose.
That's very interesting. So, how long you been writing?
Pretty much since I've been a child, but I started taking it seriously when I actually got into my mid-30s. I started, thinking about what I wanted to do with this after all these years. Computers were starting to come online, and you didn't have to handwrite, and there was spell check, and all the things that we've gotten accustomed to now is full blown. A lot of some of us take our phones and we'll write, or we'll talk into it and translate it later on. So all the things that have technology's come about has made it easier for me to become a writer.
Do you have anything coming up new?
Actually, my first book that was a national bestseller, I just, after 10 years, re-released it, and is now available on download. And if you want to go to Amazon, my first book is called Brush Strokes. It won some national awards. It's become a cult favorite. I sold the movie rights to it, and so it's been re-released. So if you want to download it onto your phone or your tablet or computer, you can go to Amazon. And it's actually, I've priced it so people can enjoy it, since it is an older book. But the story is very warm, it's very interesting, and people just love the story.
So I hear you correctly. You say you wrote a play or a movie about it?
One of the things that I've been able to do from my writing is to get into writing stage plays, screenplays, converting some of my short stories into that, and I've had a few of those productions end up in small theaters. And I said the screenplay for my first book, Brush Strokes, I sold the movie rights to it. Now, when will it be done? Crossing my fingers, and we'll see. We'll have to wait and see.
That's nice. So, anything you want people to know, anything else about you do?
I'm blessed too that I've worked in education for over 30 years and been able to share my experiences with the youth, and hopefully that what I've done, they can have hopes in doing what they want to do and completing dreams, because we live in a tough world. We've just come through a tough election, and there's a lot of uncertainty, and a lot of dreams feel like they're being dashed. And so I hope that my life can give somebody hope. And so through what I do, maybe someone will have a life that they can be proud of.
Well, thank you for taking the time out to talk with me today, Mr. Alvin. So I wish you many, many blessings and many lucks.
Thank you.
Thank you again.
Appreciate you.
Have a good day.
All right, thank you.
All right.